What's up, guys? It is John Hamilton, long time no see, and I am here with Sports Lounge Media, SLM Bets, and Faithful Friday. We are so excited to bring a lot of news to you this week. A lot has already changed without even the week being finished in week 16. Today, we have a special guest here, Ali, a sports betting pro that we've actually had on our show before. We're going to sit and talk a little bit about a lot of things today about the week, the bets, and also why the 49ers are getting better without even playing. Ali, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me back on, John.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're very happy to have you back on for sure. We wanted to talk a little bit about this week, but the first thing that I want to talk about was this game. This game was probably, to be honest with you, the game of the year. What a huge momentum swing in the fourth quarter for the Seattle Seahawks. This is a must-win game for them, and this actually helped the 49ers out, which we'll talk about here momentarily. But what was give me three big takeaways on this Thursday night game that you really liked, Ollie?
So, like you said, it was a game of the year for sure. A crucial matchup for the Niners, for the Seahawks, and the Rams, determining playoff contention, playoff seeding. Who's it making and whatnot. The Rams, yes, they already still clinched it, but it's still a ridiculous division. By far the best division in the league right now.
Absolutely, yeah. So a must-win game for sure. I agree with you on that. What are some of the two other big takeaways that you have for this game?
From this game, Sam Darnold, he showed good flashes, but honestly speaking, when it comes to the playoffs like that, it shows that he can be heavily exposed in this from this game. You can clearly see that from this game. But now the good point, the selling point for the Seahawks is that even despite those minor hiccups that they had, they still showed to be resilient, and you can't count that team out whatsoever. Seattle, they have and especially if they're playing at home, that is arguably one of the hardest stadiums to play in the entire league. So
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. What's the last one that you got for us, buddy?
And regarding the Rams, Matthew Stafford still shows that he is one of the most dominant quarterbacks in the league, and Puka Nacua, oh my goodness, that guy, he is amazing. The stat line he put up today, wow.
Unbelievable stat line, 100%.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford must win, Matthew Stafford, great quarterback, a must-win game for Seattle Seahawks. And obviously Puka Nacua just balling out. A lot of wide receivers, but when you have your horses, you want to make sure that they're playing well. And today they played well. Couldn't even imagine what it would be like if they had Devontae Adams playing today, but we'll never know. I want to talk about this week, big four-leg parlay that we ended up hitting. It was a Kyron Williams going over 60, a Kenneth Walker going over 50, and Blake Corum over 40, and a Zach Charbonnet over 30. This is all hit, all green lights, baby. 100 turned into 1,400. It was a phenomenal week for starting out. We're now 9 for 9 on our parlays the last 2 weeks. I have not stopped winning. I would highly recommend that you guys definitely lock in some of these parlays. I cannot stop getting the correct ones. I love it. Let's keep the momentum going, but we want to share. We want to do it with you guys. Obviously, don't bet or gamble if you are trying to do it to make ends meet or make money. This is just for fun. We always love wagering things just for the fun of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As you can see, we had a pretty nice little payout here. As I'm going to be getting rid of this screen here momentarily, I want to talk about maybe a little bit of why this is such a big game for the San Francisco 49ers. All right. So the San Francisco 49ers, they had a late buy into this year. I think that you are aware of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so a late buy. And what does that mean? That means that you're allowed to get your players a little bit more rested, a hard-earned fought season. We still have 3 games left, and they're very tough games. We have the Colts, the Bears, and the Seattle Seahawks. But why does this game with the Seattle Seahawks and the Rams matter so much for the San Francisco 49ers? Well, they were tied 11-3, and they were both tied in their division. With the Seattle Seahawks taking the leap over the Rams, the Seattle Seahawks have not beat the San Francisco 49ers yet. Meaning, if the Seattle Seahawks end up winning out besides the 49er game, they will have a record of 13-3 right now. Correct, Ollie?
Correct.
We played them the last week. San Francisco 49ers play the Seattle Seahawks the last week, week 18. If we beat them, we sweep them this year. We have the same record, and we have more division wins than them. Plus, we have the tiebreaker over them as well. So that would put San Francisco in a first seed position going into the playoffs. That's why this game is so huge. The Seattle Seahawks had to beat the Rams for this to happen. There's still a lot that has to happen. The Niners have to beat the Colts. Not an easy task. The Bears, even harder task. And then the Seattle Seahawks, which is the hardest task of all. If we do this, no matter what, we end up the first seed. And then we go into the playoffs with a rested week, or it's 2 weeks or 1 week? 1 week, right?
1 week.
1 week.
Yes.
This is going to allow Mr. Fred Warner to come back into the playoffs, and he's going to dominate. He's going to destroy offenses. He's going to obliterate the running game, and he's going to start establishing himself as being the number one linebacker in the league for a reason. I want to explain to you, there's a lot of scenarios that can still go down, but this gave the Niners a massive jump into having the opportunity for a first seed picture. Now, if the Rams and Seattle lose out another game and the Niners win out regardless, it's a win-win at this point.
Yes.
What do you think about the 49ers this year? Do you think the 49ers are being probably one of the most slept on teams?
Heavily slept on teams. Heavily. Like, there's not a team in the league, like, if I had to say, like, people would say that, okay, I may be biased on this regarding my team, but more than anything, the San Francisco 49ers, they have by far been the most banged up team in the entire season. I forgot the number, what it was, but it was ridiculous, the amount of people they've had missing throughout the entire year. But here's the thing. This is why I tell people, like Kyle Shanahan, people, yes, there are a lot of great coaches, but Kyle Shanahan has proven to be one of the most efficient, one of the most greatest coaches right now to do what he has done with the team that he has. But let me not knock on that either, because another thing is, the perfect complementary piece was who you guys got back this year, Robert Saleh. He has been phenomenal, like by far phenomenal. Like it is ridiculous, like what he has done with the defensive side of the ball, And now, like, and here's one thing that I wanted to elaborate earlier when you had mentioned about Fred Warner. A lot of teams have gotten used to playing the Niners without Fred Warner, and when he comes back, the amount of game planning it takes, it's ridiculous. Like, going back to the Bears game when they played against, they were practicing for Lamar Jackson, but he didn't play, and they got heavily exposed. So that's a big factor. So now, you don't know, he's gonna bring the huge positive impact, and it's hard. It's hard because he's the best linebacker in the entire league. So that is a ridiculous jump that you guys will have, and it will make a crucial point. Like, if I say that, the Niners are the most dangerous team going into the playoffs.
I'm curious to see what type of dominant figure that Fred Warner is going to bring in. I think that he's going to be great. If he comes back, he's ready to play football. He's ready to tear it up. However, I'm interested to see the aptitude of his energy, his physicality that he comes into the game with, and how much is it going to keep people on their heels a little bit? Are they going to focus on the pass game more? And if so, are we going to start seeing the San Francisco 49ers that are currently ranked 32nd in takeaways defensively this year start maybe stepping up more so in the playoffs?
I can see that happening, and I'm gonna knock on one thing that happened back in the 2013 season, and I'm gonna make it quick. When Ray Lewis had went down with the tricep injury, if I remember correctly, and it was he was gone for like a good while. I want to say a couple of weeks, like at least I want to say more than half the season.
Yeah, he was
But
gone for 6
when
weeks.
they made 6 weeks,
Mhm.
yeah, that's what it was. And when they made the playoffs, look at the impact he made.
Exactly.
I see a similar story. I see a very similar story. Ray Lewis
Mhm.
was the best linebacker in the league.
Yep.
And Warner is too. So, like I could definitely see that happening, There's been proven results of it.
There are 22 players to a full starting team plus special teams. But when you have one player that impacts the game completely different, the energy of everyone else around you, it intensifies, it levels up, and people start bawling out for each other and not just for the fans, not just for the win,
100%.
but they play football better when you have everyone there, which is why I say in the playoffs, you need your horses. And Fred Warner is definitely a horse. Now, I want to talk about really quick. I want to talk about some parlays here really quick before we jump in back into week 16 and what we got going on and talking a little bit about you brought up coaches. We're definitely going to be talking about some coaches, especially in the NFC North, a special one in Ben Johnson. But momentarily, we're going to be talking about some parlays that I have that I'm going to put on the screen here. And I know all of you won't be able to see them, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of throw one of them up at a time. We're going to just kind of talk about it. We're going to have this on a split screen here. So let's see here. There we go. All right. So this is going to be a 3-leg parlay. I really like this parlay. This is just free information, free advice for you guys. This is something to dive into, right? These are going to be bets that I highly recommend. That's something that I'm probably going to be putting in. I put my money where my mouth is, especially with football. And for me, the Bears I feel like the Bears are going to do something special this week. They went from a plus 100 and now they're starting to be the favorites with Vegas. So this tells me a few things. I think the momentum offensively is going to start carrying up. And the 3-leg parlay against the Packers this week, 3 receptions for DeAndre Swift, 60 rushing plus receiving yards for DeAndre Swift, and then 15 receiving yards for DeAndre Swift. I see this hitting. This is a plus 212. 100 will pay out $312. What do you think about this one?
I like it. I like it a lot. And here's the reason why I would say that yes, this is likely to hit, is because we have the absence of Rome Odunze and Luther Burden the third. Now, yes, you have Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, but the running backs, yes, Kyle Monangai is there, DeAndre Swift. Swift he's been remarkable this season.
Yeah,
this is the first time actually the Bears is going to have another 1,000-yard rusher,
right?
Since David Montgomery. I can't remember what year, but I want to say it was about 4 or 5 years ago, I want to say. But yeah, like he's knocking on that door. He'll probably get it in this game. So I definitely can see that happening.
All right.
Sure.
You like this one. That's great. I'm all for that. Let's talk about a different one really quick. I'm just going to kind of give you an example. This is what it shows, 100 to pay out 312. That's going to be on that particular bet right there, guys. And obviously, bet responsibly if you have any addiction to gambling or if you feel like you're just stuck in a hole and you can't get yourself out, reach out at 1-800-GAMBLERS. It's a great phone number to be able to help you kind of get through any of the trouble time that you're having. They're there to talk to you at any point in time. And then, guys, just take a break. Sometimes it's good to take a break, come back to it, and then maybe dive into something a little bit deeper. All right, here's what we got. I kind of like the Josh Allen move this week. I'm going to tell you why. I understand that the Browns were notorious in the beginning part of the season for having a good defense, and I'm not saying that Myles Garrett isn't going to get the sack record, but we're talking about the Cleveland Browns. We're talking about a team that's been notoriously underwhelming every year, right? We're talking also about Josh Allen, where he could make a long playoff run. We don't know yet. We're going to see what happens. But I will tell you one thing that Josh Allen's going to do. He's going to rush and pass for 260 plus yards. He's also going to pass for 2 touchdowns. And do I think he's going to get a rushing touchdown? Probably. Vegas has him out of minus 135, meaning that they're favoring for him to get a touchdown at some point. However, he popped off and had 6 touchdowns in total against what team was that? That was 2 or 3 weeks ago. He had Madden breaking records. It was the Patriots. That's who it was. That was an insane game. And Josh Allen to be able to throw and rush for a total of 260, I see that all day. He rushed for 42 yards in one game, and he threw for 310. He can easily do this. This is a plus 222. 100 is going to pay you out $322. What do you think about this bet, Ollie?
I do like it a lot. I definitely see it happening. Here's the thing. Yes, the Cleveland Browns have
the Cleveland Browns.
They have a very good defense, but they got exposed heavily by none other than my Chicago Bears last week.
The Bears.
But yeah, so going back to that, here's the thing. The Buffalo Bills, if they want to try to win the division, obviously they have to win out.
Correct.
With the Patriots, they have a 1-game lead ahead of them. But the Patriots played the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore this week. So I think that could be a potential upset. It could be. I could be wrong on it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, though. Because
we'll see.
I think that Josh Allen right now, he's trying to put all his poker chips on the table and let everyone know, hey, congratulations, Drake May. But at the end of the day, he's only played against 3 teams, and 2 of which twice that have been over 500, and he split with the Buffalo Bills. So Josh Allen's trying to say, hey, look, we're the better team. Is the Patriots going to get the 2nd or 3rd seed? Probably. But I think if the Buffalo Bills get in, you cannot count them out. Playoffs, it's a whole new strap in the game, which is why also if you just want to make something very simple, straightforward without the 2 passing touchdowns, you have a nice little double up and some kicker change here for Josh Allen for passing 260 and rushing without the touchdowns. That is going to pay 100 will easily pay you out $233. I think that's a great double up on your money right there. I think that's a good opportunity for people to put some money in, try to get something, get the juices flowing in your bankroll on your parlays. Okay. Next, we're going to be talking about, the next game with some other people that I have on a parlay here. Sorry about the delay here. This one's going to be a little bit of a stretch, but we're going to kind of break it down for you a little bit. This one, we got a couple of people here. So this $100 bet is going to be paying out pretty big. And what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit bigger. This is going to be a plus 3,955. And I know that where you stand on this one, right? I see Trevor Lawrence and Bo Nix getting the 2 passing touchdowns in this game. I really do. I think it's going to be a defensive game, but I still think there's going to be passing. I think they understand the red zone territory is going to be really hard to score. I don't see them rushing as much as a lot of people think. I do see more passing, especially in the red zone territory. Etienne's receiving the ball a lot better, even as back. And you have a lot of other wide receivers that Trevor Lawrence is spreading the ball around. Bo Nix, 4 touchdowns last game. We don't even need to talk about it. Bo Nix is having an MVP year. He's also winning for his team. He's also the most winning quarterback in 2 seasons to ever exist in football for a rookie year going into his next year. So 2 passing touchdowns from Bo Nix and Trevor Lawrence. They have not had that for 6 weeks in a row. So I think that this is a good, safe bet. You're going to also add Baker Mayfield, 2 passing touchdowns, Caleb Williams, 2 passing touchdowns. The Bears, for the longest streak, had over 21 points. I think that this is very safe. I think they're going to be very dependent on the pass game, especially in the red zone territory. Green Bay has a great rush defense, so the ball is going to be in the air in this game. Next is going to be the Buffalo Bills. We just talked about it, Josh Allen. It is going to be a 6-leg parlay. This is going to be paying out. I'll kind of zoom this out a little bit so you guys can see. This is gonna 100 is gonna be paying you out a good $4,000. So on a 6-leg parlay, I really like this. I feel confident with it. If I'm being honest with you guys, this is something that I'm gonna probably put in. I like it. I don't know what's your consensus about this, Ollie?
I like it. I do. Like I said, and like my only drawback was yes, the Trevor Lawrence and the Bo Nix. But here's the thing: you made a good point on it. Is that they've gone what 6 games? You
6
said?
games now. Yep, 6 games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other one too. Sorry to add in is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott 2 touchdowns, but I'm not worried about that. I think he gets that.
I think he gets that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. So yeah, like here's the thing. A lot of things like there are a lot of teams that are due for a breakout game, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they both have phenomenal defenses. The Jaguars currently ranked number 1 in the run defense.
Yeah, that's crazy that it transitioned to them.
Yeah, it is. And T-Law had one of the best games he's ever had in this.
I think that was his best career game he's ever had.
That was his best career game. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
That was his best career game. I think, and here's the thing, it's a crucial point for them to win this game because the Texans are really knocking at the door right there. The Colts are still right there. Colts, I feel like they'll still fall off, but Texans are definitely there.
Yep.
Now, I think they're going to have to put their best foot forward and put their best performance. So I could definitely see that happening. Yes, he has Jacoby Myers, ETN, you know, and I think he can get it done. And the only thing I would have a slight drawback is on Denver. But with that being said, the run game is going to be.
Bo Nix has been slinging the ball though, Ollie.
He has been. Yeah. No, exactly. So the thing is, with the Jaguars being the number 1 ranked rush defense,
right?
He's going to have to sling the rock in that matter. So I do think he will get that. And 2 touchdowns is 14 points at the end of the day.
It's not that much. I see it being I see it being a lower scoring game than most people think. I think it's going to be in the mid 40s. However, if that's the case, that means that it's going to be 20-20 at least, right? So each team scoring about 20 points each, 21 points, right? You gotta get at least 2 touchdowns, and you gotta get 1-2 field goals each. I mean, you're talking about 2 quarterbacks that are having really good years. They're AFC. They're trying to fight for the top. They're going to be competitors, and I think they hit it. If you want to go something a little bit more simple, you're not trying to shoot for the moon a little bit. You're trying to just swing, get on first base here. We're going to be doing a 3-leg parlay. This is going to be same thing, similar. I really like Baker Mayfield for 2 passing touchdowns. He still proved it against a good defense in a division game with the Atlanta Falcons that he was able to do that. I believe that he got 3 or 4 passing touchdowns. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 3. But yeah, Baker Mayfield, 2 passing touchdowns. I like this one against the Carolina Panthers. This is a division game. It is in Carolina. I think Baker Mayfield puts up the ball. I think he knows this is a must-win game. He's going to do everything he can. Caleb Williams, again, I still see the 2 passing touchdowns, and I see Josh Allen getting the 2 passing touchdowns. However, it's interchangeable with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen for the passing touchdowns. We haven't seen Lamar run the ball like he's used to. Obviously coming off that injury. I think Lamar would be a good one. He's been throwing the likely a lot. You got Andrews, and you have Flowers. You got a whole bunch of pieces that you can throw to. So we'll see what happens. It depends how close they get to the goal, because they have a big refrigerator named Derrick Henry that'll rush through. So you guys can switch this up a little bit. This is a pretty good bet. I'm actually going to place it on both. We'll see what happens. And that one's a plus 622. So that's not a bad bet.
Going back to what you said, Baker Mayfield, he had 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. He got sacked 5 times, but he still had a QBR rating of 90.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I want to talk about QBR rating. You want to talk about QBR rating? Brock Purdy had one of his best games last week. And you can talk about it being against the Tennessee Titans. Okay, that may be true. But it's the same concept against the Eagles playing the Raiders, right? You still have to play ball. You still have to ball out. They're still professionals at the end of the day. And the Titans were still able to score on the 49ers. And that's not saying that the Niners defense is bad by any means. I think they're a top 10 defense right now. But I'm going to tell you something. The San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy, whatever you want to say about him, throw it out the door. He was 23 for 30. He had 3 passing touchdowns, 295 passing yards in the air. He spread the ball around more than people spread food on Thanksgiving Day. He had a 140.9 QBR rating. That is the highest QBR rating out of any quarterback this season in the NFC. This boy is balling out. And I also want to tell you something. That completion percentage just shot him up into the top 10 for quarterbacks on statistics and NFL and ESPN this year. I think that Brock Purdy slept on. But you know what else is slept on, Ollie?
I already know.
This 3-leg parlay right here. It's a plus 575. It is a easy 3-leg. I like this game matchup. These are the go-to people. I feel strong about it. 100 pays out 675. You need a seat at the table to be able to make some poker chips here. And we want all the poker chips we can get this week. We got Mike Evans, 60-plus receiving yards. Hit that all day. And Mbuka, 40-plus receiving yards. And Teteroa McMillan for 60-plus. The main guy, the guy that's been stepping up, him and Xavier Legette, but we like McMillan a lot. He's a dog. So let the dogs get the eats and let them get some food in their bellies because this is a 3-leg that I'm guaranteeing the hit. I really like this one.
Yeah. Going back to one thing, Brock Purdy also in that game, he had 7 carries for 44 rushing yards.
He did rush. I forgot about that. Yep, he went over 300 total combined yards.
Yeah.
If you want a little bit more sauce on your bone on this, you can always add Cade Otton. Cade Otton has actually averaged 2.8 receptions per game this season. He's gotten more action as the days have been going in the season with the Bucs. Cade Otton receiving, you're going to go for 25 plus on this. This is going to bump it up from a 575 all the way up to a 1200. 100 will pay out $1,300. This is absolutely capable of happening. You can actually make it a plus 1,000 if you want to lower the yards on Mike Evans from 60 to 50, Teteroa McMillan from 60 to 50. So there's a lot of plus sides to this as well. I would definitely put this in. This is a good lock bet. Only bet what you guys can. Remember, always bet responsibly. We're going to take a look at a couple other ones. I actually had a lot kind of ready for the show here for people. So bear with us.
And they're going to have to put it to. This is going to be a game. It's going to be a similar narrative to the way tonight's game was with the Seahawks and the Rams. So I think they're all going to have to ball out. I think, and they're going to go to their best players and whatnot. So I like that one. I like all of them. I like this one, and then I like the please don't call me biased for this, but the DeAndre Swift parlay. And
yeah. I don't think there's biasness in that. I mean, look at the action that the guys got, right? Like last week just went off. He just went off. If he has half the productivity that he did last week, he's hitting this parlay. And not only is he hitting this parlay, the parlay that we've been talking about with Bryce Young and Baker Mayfield, this one I am excited about. This one, I think this is easy money, guys. 475 combined passing yards between Bryce Young and Baker Mayfield in a slinging game for them to try to take a head up on the division or even match on the division. End of the season, guys. This is a 100% going to be a ball up in the air game, especially North Carolina, where it's not quite too cold yet. I think there's going to be some action. This is a plus 169. 100 is going to pay out 269. I think this is a great bet. I really do. I think that both of them together will reach over 475. This is going to be a phenomenal bet to put in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, however much you want to put in. I think this is a good bet. This is definitely, especially if you are just starting out on learning how to bet. Ollie, I think this is a good one for some newcomers.
Yes, I totally agree on that.
Let's talk about what else do we have? We have some good bets here for some people. I know that we've kind of gone over the main ones, but I'm gonna go back to this one. All right, no, and with this bet, this is the bet that we've been talking about for quite some time. This is a plus 212, right? This is DeAndre Swift, kind of 3-leg parlay, you can call it. 60 plus receiving and rushing. I think he gets that. I think he gets that the first half. I think he gets the 3 receptions probably by the second or third quarter. And then the 15 receiving yards, he could get that the first quarter. It really just depends on the breakout. I think the Packers secondary is a little bit weaker than the rush defense. And I think it's vice versa for the Bears. So we're not doing anything crazy. We're not putting money lines. We're not doing over-unders. We're not doing spreads. This is just straight up juice, guys. This is all the meat and potatoes that you guys can take. And I'm trying to put some bread in your pockets here. I think this is a really safe bet. I think this is a good bet. This isn't anything crazy along the lines of what we've already been hitting. This is something that kind of give you an example of what I'm talking about. Like, guys, look at this bet. Look at this bet. We hit this today, guys. 100 to pay out $1,400, guys. Like, how are you not excited about that? And this wouldn't have happened, Ollie, if they didn't go into overtime.
Yeah. No, it wouldn't have if it had it not gone into overtime.
Yep. We were waiting on Zach Charbonnet to finish off the job, and sure enough, he did. This was very exciting to look down at the app and see, hey, we got some winners, baby. There's some big takeaways. I want to jump into a little bit of a different topic, and then we're going to go down and kind of do our picks for the week. And then we're going to talk about what we're expecting for the remainder of the season, if that's cool with you, Ollie.
Yeah.
Well, let's kind of talk about it, right?
Yeah.
Ben Johnson came into the Chicago Bears, and a lot of people were excited about getting Ben Johnson. I think there was a lot of bad blood between Detroit and Chicago for getting in poaching and playoffs and his intent to already transfer and all that. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's got to look out for him and his family and his career and what he wants to make of himself. I would say this season is a massive turnaround, and the San Francisco 49ers is a massive turnaround. 2 teams that went from losing seasons to winning seasons. And I think it comes down to head coaching. I think Ben Johnson is definitely going to be up for Coach of the Year, and kind of want to know your takeaway as a Bears fan. What do you expect from all of this season?
So here's the one thing: Ben Johnson, I can't remember at what point he did mention the Bears will be playing their best football come December, and I see it coming in full circle. They're ahead of schedule right now. With they're playing right now, and as a Bears fan, I'm very delighted to see it happening. Yes, there are injuries lingering, and I obviously throughout the entire league, but the team has shown a lot of resilience, and the resilience that comes from that is from your head coach. The energy, the how ecstatic he is, how fired up,
Yeah, he definitely is.
Not to mention put some food in people's stomachs for taking off his shirt for that game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Good, bad, or
excited, man.
bad.
He took it off. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty in shape. I don't know if he's in shape enough to play football, but he's definitely in shape enough to go up and down the sideline and yell at some players and move
Yeah,
some
lots of
adjustments.
players.
I think he's doing
Yeah.
great, man. He brings a lot of love to the locker room, and I kind of like the presence and the ego uplift. I think he keeps a very balanced, neutral head across all platforms, whether it be interview or live on NFL Sunday in the game or in the locker room. I think he's a good coach, and I think that this isn't every piece that the Bears need, but I think this is definitely the foot in the right direction, probably for the last 20 years, to be honest with you. So
yeah, 100%. Like people say, okay, yeah, Lovie Smith, Matt Nagy,
mhm.
but he just brings a whole entire dynamic. Like he will remind you of Ditka,
Yeah,
and
a little bit.
and that's a little bit, and that's gonna get you far,
Mhm.
personally speaking, and he holds his players accountable. If you don't do good, yeah, it's if you don't perform, it's a highway, buddy. That's
Exactly.
how simple it is.
Exactly.
Like he's not afraid to do that.
Nope,
So
not at all.
that's what I love,
Mhm.
and yeah, like, and then his thing, he lost to the Packers.
Yep, he did.
It came down to the last play in a crucial game in Lambeau Field with all their starters, and his like
Mhm.
I like he had that game, but
He did.
it's not like, okay, like a lot of people are the delusional Packer
Mhm.
fans are saying, oh, we own you, this and that. No, it came down to the last second. But anyhow, like regardless of that, he's gonna bounce back from it. He's the type of coach that will bounce back, and
Yeah,
I
he
think he's gonna
perseveres.
bounce back against Detroit.
He perseveres from the struggles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Bears have one of
And
the hardest remaining schedules in the game right now. They got to play.
we definitely do.
They got to play the Packers this week, and they also have to play the 49ers. These are two teams that are extremely difficult to play. Bears coming to Levi's. The Niners are going to ball out. They are going to be playing their best ball. They're going to probably spam Lizard, Christian McCaffrey. And
Oh yes,
I can absolutely see a big run game, heavily focused
and
on
the
time
Bears are
clock
weaker.
management. And I think that Ben
Yeah.
Johnson's going to get a little bit of taste from what a top 5 coach looks like through longevity. And I think this is going to be a fun way of seeing really good fundamental football.
It's gonna be an excellent game.
The one thing I want to kind of adjust and talk to is
Yep.
we got some big division games, Ollie. We got some big division games coming up. And with these division games, there's also some good AFC games this week. Okay, we have the Jags and the Broncos. That's a rough game. If you're betting, or even if you're not, and you're a fan, or if you play for the football team, whatever it is, this is a hard game. And the Jags, I'm not sure what to make of them. To me, they are a much better version of the Panthers, where there's some inconsistencies. There's more productivity offensively. Their defense has stepped up tremendously. They've beaten teams that maybe no one was expecting all year. And look at where they're at, guys. Look at where they're at. They're crushing football right now. And they're going into one of the hardest places to play. And a team that's won 10 or 11 games straight, and they've done it by a good margin of points. And Bo Nix just came off one of his best games with completions, touchdowns, spreading the ball around to multiple different receivers. And to be honest with you, the offensive talent of what they have, and this is no dig at Denver Broncos or any of the wide receivers, they're still young and there's still a lot to prove, but they're not top 10 receivers in the league. They're just not. And they're still getting the job done. They're beating teams. They beat 6 teams that have been over 500. So they're definitely legitimate contenders.
Yes.
And what happens if everyone has to go through Mile High City, let alone a mile high where the altitude is thin air?
Yeah. No,
I'm telling you, you can only condition yourself so much to be able to win games. And this is where the Broncos are going to persevere, especially with Sean Payton. One of the best coaches, You have a coach that has generational talent in coaching. You have football players that are experienced in the defensive aspect that have been picked up from San Francisco 49ers to the Denver Broncos, Greenlaw, which is an amazing linebacker, and I'm happy for his success.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting, Ollie. Who do you have in this game? The Jags, or do you have the Denver Broncos?
John, why do you have to ask me that question? God, it's so hard.
If you had to put whatever's in your pocket down on this game for the money line, who are you taking?
Oh my God, I'm gonna have to go with Denver.
You got to go with Denver, right? And I don't think that's any bad takeaway from the Jags. I think with how hard this decision is it's a compliment, if anything. The Jags have been swamp water realistically for the last forever, and they turned around. Trevor Lawrence is finally doing what people expected him to do from when he first got drafted.
Yep.
And they now have the talent. The coach is not half bad. The defense is not half bad. Their fans are actually starting to sit in the seats that probably had dust on them for years. So, yeah, the Jags they're moving and grooving. I think they're doing great. Now, another game that I want to ask you really quick, and I just kind of want like a quick takeaway from this one, if I can, Ollie.
Sure. Yep, sure.
A tough game for me, if I'm being honest with you this week, besides the Seahawks and the Rams game, by the way. Gosh, that was such a close game. Such a good game.
Yeah.
The Ravens and the Patriots.
That's another really tough one.
The reason why I say this is tough, look, Lamar plays such good December football. He really does. But this is when we see Lamar run, get touchdowns. There's more of that mojo feel that you can kind of connect the pieces and the dots together. But I think that we're going to see an interesting matchup with Patriots going into Baltimore. It's cold weather, may snow, maybe ice, who knows. But horrible offensive line for the Patriots, good quarterback. Incentives for Stephon Diggs to get receptions, touchdowns, yards this game. But Derrick Henry's starting to look more like Derrick Henry every single game. Lamar Jackson's starting to look more like Lamar Jackson every single game. And we're talking about Harbaugh, which is no slouch of a coach. I think that we might be seeing a 50-50 right here, Ollie.
Yeah, this is a really good 50-50. Now, here's the thing. The way I'm looking at it, like, Lamar, okay, so I'm looking at, so I have him in my fantasy football. I have both of them, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
In the last 2 weeks, he has played good. He has been playing good. Prior to that, the previous 3 weeks, it was horrendous. I will definitely say that it was horrendous.
They were getting the wins, but
they were getting the win.
It didn't look good.
It didn't look good.
Hey, and no dig at the Eagles, but Eagles have been getting wins, and they've been getting some of the ugliest wins probably in football history.
Yeah.
But a win is a win at the end of the day.
A win is a win.
I wouldn't care either way if my team was getting wins that way, but yeah, it looked ugly with Lamar.
It definitely it did. So, it's hard to be honest with you, but just the fact that and the hardest part of this is that both teams they have to win. It's such a crucial game for them for the division lead. You know.
Well, here's the thing: if Denver beats the Jags, they continue the momentum of being the number 1 seed. The Patriots win; they're still behind. If they lose, they're behind 2 games, and then this opens up the Buffalo Bills to start maybe having conversation to take the division. So
yeah.
I have the Ravens winning this game, though, Ollie. I really do.
I do too.
I sat down. I've thought about it. I think they're going to control the clock on the run. I think the offensive line is dog shit. I think that Will Campbell is probably the best piece on the offensive line. I think they need to help establish him. He can't contain 4 or 5 pass rushers. And I think that Drake May's done a great job inside the pocket, getting rid of the ball, moving the ball around, extending the plays in the pocket, being able to move the ball down the field, touchdown. Just he's doing great. He's going to have a great career. needs to build an O-line around this gentleman, because if he doesn't, he's going to end up getting hurt. It's going to be a Joe Burrow situation where it's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he doesn't have anyone to protect him, and then he gets hurt.
Yeah, and here's one thing I'm going to just final cap it off with, is that, do you remember one of the things that you had mentioned way early in the season was that when you're at a game that's at a 50-50, at a standstill,
always take
what
the
do
home
you
team.
Typically do? Always go with the home team.
Always go with the home team. Home team always wins 86% of the time when a game is 50-50.
86% of the time. So that's one of the biggest reasons why I have to go with the Baltimore.
Look how many home games won yesterday in the division rounds, guys. Like that's a big thing. Look at how many home games won in the division rounds.
Yeah,
a majority of all of them. So
majority.
That's also something to pay attention to, But I think Texans get the dub. I think Eagles get the dub. I like the Bears. I like the Niners against Colts if they can contain Jonathan Taylor. Seattle Rams was really just a toss-up, a coin in the air. And I still have to watch a lot of the highlights from that, but congratulations to Seattle. And thank you, by the way, Seattle, for absolutely helping us have the chance to get the number 1 seed now. Because all we have to do is win out. You guys can win and Rams can win out. It doesn't matter. But we just have to beat Seattle. We have to beat the Bears and the Colts. Okay. This is just getting harder each week. But you know what? At the end of the day, I think there's a lot of grit with the 49ers. They're being slept on. And if they get the number 1 seed into the playoffs, this is going to be the biggest I told you so of any season I've ever seen, because we started out the season with a power ranking of 18. And I was happy when people undermined the 49ers.
Yeah.
So
No, 100%.
Absolutely.
It's a similar story with the Niners and the Bears with the amount of injuries they've had and how resilient they have proven to be right now. So John, it would be crazy if I see you in the NFC Championship, buddy.
It would be quite wild. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for coming in and tuning in. This has been sponsored by the Mogul brand and the Diamond Collection, Sports Lounge Media. And make sure you guys visit sportsloungemedia.com. Also, Sports Lounge Media on YouTube, Sports Lounge Media on TikTok. You can also find me at John J. Hamilton on TikTok. Also search up John at Sports Lounge Media on TikTok. I'm here to bring advice for your betting needs. If you guys have questions, don't know how to, or don't even know where to start, I can start at a beginner level all the way to highly advanced, or people think that they know what they're betting on. If you're hitting everything but one leg on your parlays, I'm your guy. A lot of other people to go to, but feel and do what you're comfortable with. Remember, don't gamble if it is your means to an end. This is just for fun. We do this for having a good time, conversation pieces, and we love football. Guys, as always, we always appreciate you genuinely, and Ollie, good luck to your Bears this week, and thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you all for having me, too.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time, and be ready to have some good football this weekend. Pay attention.